Swerve Strickland versus Jon Moxley. It was the main event, and it was for the AEW World Championship. What in the blue hell was this? This was a hot mess, and it was just pure. Seriously, that's how I felt about the match. And I'm not a Jon Moxley fan at all. I think he's a horrible wrestler. I think he's the worst wrestler. And I it's hard to believe that he has had the championship, the world championship, for 4 months. I'm sorry, for 4 times. This is his fourth time having the championship. So I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get why Tony Khan keeps on giving him the title because it's not working. This little project, this little thing that's going on, they need to end it, and they need to end it immediately. So in this match, I thought it was going to go this way. I thought it was going to be ridiculous, but I was hoping maybe they will have a decent match, but that was not the case. And then you know what? With Swerve, I like Swerve. I think Swerve is talented. But now I'm starting to think that Swerve is just all hype. And the reason why, because of this match and just what I have seen lately. There's no self control. There's no, ring psychology. These guys, they just do a bunch of moves, and the person will get back up. There's no selling. It's just like anything goes. The moves don't matter. I can tombstone you and you'll get back up in 3 seconds. I can hit you in the head with a chair. You'll just get back up in 3 seconds. It just doesn't make any sense. So, and then also with this match, they were outside of the ring for over 10 seconds. It was for like maybe 2 minutes. And I'm like, why don't they just make this a no disqualification match? A hardcore match. Why not just, make it a hardcore match? Because these guys don't follow rules. So anyway, in this match, at one point they were outside of the ring and they both, Jon Moxley brought out a ladder and then they both were climbing it. Jon Moxley was trying to slam Swerve onto the announcer's table, but Swerve started to bite him. I'm like, what is this? This is just ridiculous. This is just awful. And then Swerve hit a Swerve stump um, off of the ladder. Well, he hit. I'm sorry, Moxley with the curve stump off of the ladder through the announcer's table. Right? Okay. Right. Okay. Cool spot. Maybe that will end the match. Right? No. Swerve gets back in the ring, and then after that, Moxley gets back in the ring within seconds. And I'm like, okay, what was the point of that spot? There was no point in doing that spot if Moxley was going to get back up within seconds. And then I'm trying to think what else happened. They had this one spot, and Moxley does this in all of his matches. He has to have that slapping spot. I hit you, you hit me, I hit you, you hit me, and let's just wait, for each other to hit each other. Ridiculous, just unbelievable at this point. And then also, I'm surprised because Moxley did not bleed in this match. I think this is a first. So Swerve was actually he was the only wrestler to bleed in this match. So that might be a record for Jon Moxley. And then we had that spot. I think Jon Moxley accidentally knocked out the referee. I think he threw the chair at him by an accident or something like that. And then Page comes in, Adam Page, and then the Death Riders, and then Samoa Joe and the Ops. I'm like, what is this? Like a bloodline rules match? Like what are we doing? And then I think Swerve hit another swerve stump or something like that. And then the lights turn out. The lights turn off, I should say. And then the Young Bucks, they hit Swerve with the V trigger. The double knee. Is that I guess that's the V trigger. That's the name of it, right? And then Jon Moxley pin Swerve. Awful, awful, awful. And I think this match went for 30 minutes. And I'm like, at this point, what is the end goal? I mean, I guess it looks like what is the name of that pay per view that's coming up or that's in July? All in, and that's in July. So it looks like maybe I guess they're going to have Will Ospreay defeat Jon Moxley. So I guess we have to wait until July. It looks like I don't know, but this is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. And overall, with this show, some of the matches I did enjoy, but a lot of these matches, or a few of these matches, they just went on way too long. And I am glad I didn't go to the show because I wanted to go to it. I was thinking about it because I live close to Philly, but I was like, I don't want to be at this show because I know it's gonna, be over 4 hours, and it was. And I have to work the next day and then get home around like whatever 1 o'clock. I was like, I don't want to deal with that. So I'm glad I didn't go. Tony Khan, I don't know what it is, but he needs to get it together. There needs to be some kind of control, self control, and he doesn't need to have pay-per-views that are over 4 hours and matches that are going on way too long. It just doesn't make any sense. Like I think I'm trying to think of some of the matches, like the Kenny Omega, Ricochet, and who was the other guy? And Bailey, that triple threat match that went on way too long, and the crowd was into that match. The people were really into it, and I like some of the stuff that they did. But then after a while, they just did all this other stuff, and it just didn't make any sense to me. And then Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher, I like both of those guys. I think they're both good. But that's another match that just went on way too long. The Jericho versus Bandito match, that I don't know. It was just too much that was going on. It was just too much that was going on. And the Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole, I like tuning out for that match. So I don't know, but AEW needs a whole lot of help. And this pay per view was not the best, and that main event was just horrendous, horrendous. Please take care. Let me know how did you feel about the show, and have a good one.